Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Jakeem Grant now to return. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. First carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play action. Walsh. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. They give him a gain of 37.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback than to establish the running game early.
Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the stop, Breeland Speaks.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch him now, Barney!
On the give, this is Drake. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. on third down, Drake. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And going deep for Hill. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Green 90. Green 90.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles Harris in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. On 4th down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And taken right at the 35. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And it's 3rd and 2 now.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a handoff for Drake. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. As they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Slow. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. There they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Mahomes now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Charles Harris in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Four down. Alert. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Walsh. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So now here come the Dolphins.
Gun! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
Throwing after the interception. Walsh toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Walsh eluding the pressure right. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Walsh And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Walsh. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston, and he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll toss it to Hunt. Gets around him. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out come the Dolphins now. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, got three. 3 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Check.
From the gun on 3rd down. Walsh buying time to his left. And he finds Stills complete. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
On 1st down, Walsh. Now he's forced out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dante Fowler. able to drop him for a loss of 4. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Operating from the gun. Walsh under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Walsh. Flush to his right. Going deep here for Parker. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Calvin Pryor. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Parker, the intended target. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up first and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he will find his man on the outside. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there of 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. toss play to Hunt. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Andre Branch able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile.
39.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught. Oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
He'll get it up the middle. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. He has been an integral part of the offense all season, and now in the playoffs he's carrying it over. Had the touchdown last week in the wild card game. Now his 2nd TD of the playoffs.
Showing some consistency, and that's something that we have to keep in mind about the playoffs, because we often think you have to be spectacular in order to win. I think consistent is what you're looking for. That can get you to the finish line.
And an alley to run. It's a foot race. 30. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And now here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st down, Mahomes. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's at the 40. The 20. 10, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, well, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dante Fowler in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake. Walsh under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Back now in Miami, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move but couldn't free much space. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Walsh. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing on first down. Walsh. And Stills over the middle. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Back to throw. Walsh. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
From the gun on 3rd down. Walsh. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3.
They'll run. It's Drake. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kalen Ballage punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man. 2nd time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again. And how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. Now, I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. This is Hunt. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. They'll run it here with Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Chiefs on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Ace, ace.
On the run, this is Hunt. Oh, he's got some breathing room. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Justin Houston getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Walsh. And the pressure gets to him again. Justin Houston. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Walsh. And this is going to be incomplete. David Amerson is there on the coverage defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami. you